Let's jump into some of the impacts for obtaining state related aids for employers. Are there any available if employers do avail themselves of utilizing any or one of them? How does that impact any of the visas or their ability to sponsor employees?
Right. So the main way that employers have an opportunity to have their business supported and also have their employees supported is short work allowance, which goes by the beautiful German name of Kurzarbeitergeld.
I'm not going to repeat that because I'll butcher it.
Sorry?
I'm not going to try and repeat that because I'll butcher it.
Maybe you should repeat it just for that.
I don't want to offend anybody.
Our beautiful German language. So what happens with Kurzarbeitergeld, short work allowance, is the following. If a minimum of 10% of the employees of an employer have a shortfall in their salary of more than 10%, then the employer might be eligible for short work allowance. Short work allowance is when employees work, for example, 0 hours or any number of hours that is shorter than their usual working time. However, they still receive 60 to 67% of their net salary for up to 12 months. So this is something that a lot of German businesses have applied for, and it's nothing that is exotic, for example, at all. There have been hundreds of thousands of businesses that have applied for this since the crisis started. So the one important thing to note, if you're a foreign employer that's dealing in Germany, is that the short work allowance must be applied for in the same month that you want to receive it for. So if you want to receive short work allowance for April, for example, then you have to ensure to apply for it by the end of April. You are not going to be able to apply for this retrospectively in, say, July, because then you're not going to be able to get it. So this state help is available to a large number of employers. It will not, and this is something that the government has clarified, it will not impact on the residence status of people who are third country nationals in Germany and are here on a residence work permit.
Right.
So the other thing that you have to note, though, is that other measures that you might apply for, as an employer, if, for example, you are the employer and you are here on a residence work permit yourself for the purpose of self-employment, you really have to check whether those measures might impact, for example, credits, that sort of thing. That is something that various states are offering in different shapes and forms, is going to impact on your residence status. So it's always worth checking if you're receiving anything other than short work allowance, whether or not that is going to have any kind of impact on your residence status. So the other interesting thing to note with short work allowance is that obviously this goes in line with the drop in salary of employees. And this can be particularly worrying for employees who have a blue card, for example, which has and a blue card is a residence work permit for particularly skilled individuals. So the blue card has a minimum salary requirement, which usually there are some exemptions for people who are, for example, in IT, but usually this salary requirement lies currently at 55,200 euro gross salary per year. if your salary drops under that line because you receive short-term work allowance, then according to, short work allowance, then according to the government's guidance, this is not supposed to have a negative impact on your residence status under the blue card.
Okay, so that's a great change, and I'm sure it brings a lot of relief to individuals as companies and employees are kind of navigating this tumultuous time together. So really important information there. We're going to move quickly into the top tips. So what top tips do you have for HR mobility and immigration professionals right now to tackle and focus on during this coronavirus pandemic?
So the first top tip, if you're dealing with immigration, is check the local regulations that are applicable to the responsible foreigner office that will be responsible for your employee. Second top tip is, if you're an employer in Germany, check whether or not you might be eligible for short work allowance. And if you are, then apply for it now.
Fantastic. Okay, Julia, this has been really informative. Thank you so much. I know that the information is going to be used by a lot of individuals. If anyone does want to get a hold of you, Julia, how can they reach you?
You can find me on the Cleaned homepage. I will link it in the comments to this video. Just give me a call or drop me an email, and I will be happy to help.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you to all the viewers watching, and I hope everyone's at home staying safe and staying isolated. All right, take care.